cruel ambition. In the sprawling, war-torn lands of Azeroth, there lived a druid named Vaeyn. He wasn't just any druid. His heart beat with a fierce, dual rhythm. One beat was the unyielding hunger to win in the brutal battlegrounds of PvP, and the other, a subtle yet ever-present roleplay that colored his every move. When Vaeyn entered the fray, it wasn't merely about personal glory. No, for him, it was about defending Azeroth from evil, about a relentless climb to rise, no matter the cost. Yet, for all his ferocity, Vaeyn wasn't interested in wiping out every soul he encountered. His focus was singular, his purpose clear, to vanquish Azeroth's true enemies. Zone Defense. In the chaotic heart of Azeroth, a druid known as PVPXTV, or simply Vaeyn, carved his path with an unwavering resolve. His mission? To systematically purge threats from World of Warcraft zones, ensuring they were safe havens for his allies. Vaeyn wasn't a master of finesse. His movements might have lacked the elegant precision of a seasoned gladiator, but what he lacked in graceful execution, he more than made up for with a boundless enthusiasm for killing. Every spell cast was fueled by a joyful determination to vanquish one more foe. He wasn't just fighting. He was reveling in the act of cleansing Azeroth, leaving a trail of defeated enemies in his wake. For Vaeyn, every battle was an opportunity to showcase his dedication, a boisterous testament to his commitment to a safer Azeroth. Battlefield domination. Vaeyn, ever the eager combatant, moved through the battlegrounds of Azeroth with a singular focus. The exhilarating rush of securing kills. Each defeated foe was a step towards his ultimate goal, pushing for victories and, more specifically, racking up those coveted 3-streak wins. There was a primal satisfaction in seeing the victory screen, knowing he had outmaneuvered and outfought his opponents. Yet, for all his drive for dominance, Vaeyn's enjoyment of the fight wasn't solely about crushing his enemies. He also deeply cherished the close calls, those heart-stopping moments where victory hung by a thread, and a sliver of health separated him from defeat. These were the instances that truly tested his mettle and made every hard-won triumph all the sweeter. And then there were the hilarious moments that erupted in the heat of battle, breaking a rogue's stealth, close flag captures, or a desperate escape that defied all odds. These unpredictable bursts of chaos and humor were just as much a part of the game for Vaeyn as the strategic plays and decisive blows. They reminded him that even in the most intense combat, there was always room for a laugh and a story to tell. Death Collector. Vaeyn wasn't merely a participant in the endless conflicts of Azeroth. His motives ran far deeper than simple victory. While others chased glory, honor, or loot, Vaeyn pursued a more esoteric and perhaps unsettling objective. He wasn't just a fighter, he was a collector. For Vaeyn, each battle was a hunt, a meticulous tracking of his prey across the shattered landscapes. Every killing blow wasn't just a decisive end to an enemy, but the securing of a trophy. Yet his quarry wasn't the glint of gold, nor the roar of the crowd, nor even the fleeting taste of renown. His bounty was far more grisly, more primal. He sought the very life forces extinguished by his hand. With each foe that fell, a faint, unseen essence was absorbed by him, becoming part of his growing collection. It was a relentless, silent pursuit, a chilling accumulation that few could comprehend. This was his true obsession, his dark art, the death harvest. And with every soul reaped, Vaeyn felt a profound, albeit unsettling, satisfaction. He was building something unseen, a monument of fallen life, one battlefield at a time.
Okay, so let's dive into this. Think about really intense online gaming, high stakes competition where winning feels like everything.
Yeah, totally.
But then mix that with something, well, something personal and maybe even a bit strange, an objective that's just not typical gameplay.
It's definitely not your standard combo.
Right.
And that's what we're digging into today. We're looking deep into Azeroth, specifically at this one player in World of Warcraft's PvP battlegrounds. His approach is, well, it's pretty unique.
Exactly. So based on the material we've got, our mission really is to try and get a handle on this druid known as Vaeyn. He's also online as PVPXTV.
Right.
What's actually driving him when he's in there in those chaotic fights? Because, what we're seeing suggests it's not just about climbing the ranks or getting glory points.
And this is where it starts getting really interesting. Because Vaeyn clearly has that intense competitive edge. He's pushing hard for wins. Specifically, it seems, those 3 streak victories in the battlegrounds. Yeah, he seems to get a real sort of visceral kick out of getting kills and, outplaying people.
And apparently, he might not be the smoothest player out there, technically, but his, enthusiasm for the actual fight, that seems undeniable. A sort of joy in just scrapping it out and overcoming opponents.
That's a good way to put it. He even seems to kind of enjoy the messy parts, the chaos of battle, those moments where it could swing either way.
Close calls, yeah.
Exactly. Now, layered on top of that competitive fire, you've got this persistent roleplay thing going on.
Okay.
He talks about his actions, in the game as defending Azeroth from evil. Like he's systematically clearing zones, making them safe. It's not just random fighting. There's a story behind it for him.
Right, a narrative. And you can see this blend. The sources say he streams his gameplay, shares highlights and stuff. But here's the thing. While the competition gets him fighting and the roleplay gives it a why, neither seems to fully explain just how intense his focus is. There's something deeper going on, something more unusual under the surface.
And this is where, the sources take us somewhere genuinely, well, unsettling is maybe the word.
No.
They suggest Vaeyn's main motivation isn't just winning the match or getting some achievement pop-up. He's apparently driven by a goal most players wouldn't even think of.
So he's not just a fighter or this defender of Azeroth. The sources actually call him a collector.
Precisely. That's the term used. For Vaeyn, every kill in a battleground isn't just, one less opponent on the field.
That's more than that.
It seems so. The sources describe him as actively trying to collect something you can't see, something esoteric.
And this collection, we're not talking about gear or gold or anything like that.
No, nothing tangible. According to the material, he's after the faint, sort of unseen essence. The life force, maybe?
Yeah.
That gets extinguished when he makes a kill. Every enemy that falls adds to this chilling collection.
Wow. Okay. So this isn't just a metaphor he uses. The sources are suggesting this is his actual, underlying obsession. One source calls it his dark art, the death harvest.
That phrase really nails it, doesn't it? It's painted as this relentless, quiet hunt, with every soul reaped, as one source literally puts it.
Jeez.
Yeah. Vaeyn supposedly feels this deep, maybe disturbing sense of satisfaction. He's not just in the battles, he's actively building this invisible thing, a monument of fallen life, bit by bit, fight by fight.
So, thinking about this, what does this kind of really out there approach mean for you listening to this, maybe as you navigate your own online spaces?
Well, I think it just really highlights how incredibly complex people's motivations can be in these digital worlds.
Yeah.
And sometimes, hidden and maybe even unsettling.
Right.
Players aren't always just going for the obvious stuff like points or ranks. They can build these incredibly elaborate, personal, sometimes, frankly, bizarre objectives for themselves that totally shape how they play.
It definitely makes you pause and think about, what kind of satisfaction someone could even get from a goal that's, that uniquely dark.
Okay. And it leads us to the pretty provocative question, I think. What does it really mean to collect death, even virtual death, as your main goal? And what kind of unseen monument ultimately gets built from all that fallen life within a game?